What's up, guys? We are back for another Rust What's Coming. We're taking a look at this upcoming update that we'll be hitting later today. And we're not getting any new items as far as I can tell, but who knows with the dev blog, we may get some info on some new stuff. But what we are getting is a lot of changes to the world. So this is going to be, of course, a full wipe on all official servers. All servers will be forced to wipe. And they've done some proc gen work to the procedural worlds. So as you can see, we have new grass here, and it's got little seeds on top. It waves around in the wind. So this is kind of like a new added kind of thing. There's little shrubs that move around and so forth, and this is just a continuation of making the world look a lot better. You're also going to start seeing the overgrowth that was put onto the rad towns on some of them, and I believe the sat dish doesn't really seem to have any kind of overgrowth going on, and I'm not sure if it's actually been merged. So we're going to float over here to the airfield and take a look if the overgrowth is put in. Yeah, so it looks like the overgrowth itself isn't actually... Oh, no, is it? Nope, I'm just seeing trees in front of things, yeah. So it looks like the overgrowth itself isn't implemented yet, but you can definitely see... Oh, no, it is, okay. So, first of all, we're going to pause here for a second and do something about this radiation. Okay, now that we got that taken care of, the overgrowth is actually a thing. So if you look, there's trees, there's kind of ivy and so forth hanging up all over. You've got all this green stuff, almost like trees growing out of them, which is kind of cool. And this has been done to most of the rad towns, if not all of them, I believe. And we'll go ahead and take a look and see. Is any of it kind of build into sun? No, okay. So the insides are still pretty empty there. But yeah, we've got quite a bit of overgrowth going on here. Another thing you'll notice is that there's a lot more snow now. And they've added it to where there's more snow area and less tundra area. And it kind of is reminiscent of that nice snow we used to have. So it actually, it's pretty nice. It's not quite the snow biome back, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. They've also, in addition to adding snow, they've reduced the amount of desert to make up for that. So that's actually kind of cool as well. We're going to fly over here and check out the Lighthouse, which I believe these also have overgrowth. Yeah, so you can see right here, there's quite a bit of plants and stuff growing on it. Some of it looks a little bit excessive, because you kind of look at this and you would expect a tree to be inside. Oh, there is, and there is trees inside. Okay. So, yeah, this is the first step in overgrowth. Eventually, the goal is to let bases kind of fall apart and overgrow, if it's possible. So who knows if that's actually going to be something that happens, but that would be definitely really cool if they can get it to be. We're flying over to the dome here to take a look at it. I think it's one of the most obvious ones. And you can just see all these new little flowers and bushes and everything. They just kind of liven it up a little bit. And they look neat. And I've noticed also a lot of the trash piles also have like overgrowth on them, which is kind of neat. Like this one, and you can see this has got a little bush through it. And this too. And I think that's actually pretty nice. So let's continue on over to the dome and take a look at it. And boom, there. It takes a little bit to pop in, but I think the dome looks really nice. It's green. It matches the biome it's in, I believe. And yeah, it's got a lot of trees and such growing all over it. And you've got, you know, kind of like ivy and stuff overhanging here. And it looks really nice, actually. And it definitely makes it feel like people didn't just pick up and leave all of a sudden off of the world of Rust here, which is kind of neat and definitely really cool. We're going to go ahead and glide over to the power plant as well, since it's right here. Also with changes, the bigger mountains do not show up on maps under 3K size. So if you don't want mountains, you can be under 3K. Or if you're wondering where they went, that would be because you're under 3K. So that's kind of a thing there. And I think the power plant actually looks really nice. They've done a great job. I'm not sure what's going on right here. I'm sure that will be fixed before the update rolls out. These piles look a little bit strange. But yeah, it looks really good on the buildings. I'm not sure about the random trees, though. They look a little bit weird. I think it needs to be maybe more ivy, less random trees. It definitely looks like they're growing out of cracks, though, at least, so I think that's nice. that they're not just kind of popping out of concrete somewhere. There is kind of like a legitimate reason of why it's growing there. So that's actually pretty neat. Next thing is caves actually have finally been updated to have a reason. Hopefully we can glide down in here and this one will show. Let's see here. It takes a while. Yeah, okay. It takes a while for loot to generate in a new world, so it's not really popping up here. But inside of these mine carts and in and around the cave systems, there will now be loot crates and boxes and things you can pick up, which is nice. So there's actually a reason to try to go and loot into these cave systems now, which is really neat. Yeah, that's I'll toss a picture up here just because for some reason it's just not loading in here yet for us, so that's a little annoying, but you take my word on it and we'll show you the picture there and you guys can see that. Next up is if you have any sort of weapon, there was the sash that would show up, right? So we don't have a weapon. We go into here and we go to weapons and let's see, give ourselves an Ioka. Well, now the Ioka shows up, but now there's also a holstered weapon thing going on. So as you can see on my hip, the Ioka pistol now shows up. If we go ahead and we'll just spawn in one of each weapon here, and they actually all kind of stack on you. It's kind of funny. So, you know, we'll just kind of pop in a little bit of everything here. And it works pretty much just like the plugin that we've had for ages. And it shows the best weapon on your back. And there's also like a holster spot for grenades, so you can kind of see, it's really hard to see, but right there below the rocket launcher, there's a little frag grenade on the other side of our hip. And, you know, this is a work in progress. Some of the guns are kind of weird in their directions, so let's go ahead and toss that. And you can see the M2, again, no one ever carries a gun with the barrel pointing up, it's always pointing down. So I hope that something gets fixed. I know people pointed that out on Reddit, but I don't know if that's the priority right now, so we're going to take that off. Yeah, see the LR does point upwards as well. Balti, yes. All the guns are pointing upwards. This looks really, really weird, especially with like the SMG here. So again, it's the first iteration. Things do need to go ahead and get ironed out, of course, but this is something we've been asking for, and it's really cool to see that it's finally being implemented here into the game. And I think the flamethrower actually looks really cool. And see, the crossbow's facing the right way. Not sure why the rest of them are. Yeah, see, swords are as well. So that's strange. Let's see, if we get rid of the frag, yeah, the bean can shows up on our side. If we get rid of the Ioka, does... No. Bone club. Looks like the bone club and stuff doesn't seem to attach. My one thing is the AK doesn't show if it's in your hotbar. That is weird. Huh. Now it shows. That's interesting. Again, AK's facing the wrong way. Not how you carry a gun. And then lastly, the only other thing really is we've got some world models for a couple of new things. So if you go ahead and we'll pop back into first person, Wolf Skull's got a model and Bone Fragments have like a little pile model as well. So that pretty much kind of covers what we're getting this update. There's lots of performance fixes, which you'll have to read the devlog on the specifics, but they're doing a lot to just help loading times and everything just be better, and we've got some of those merging live this week. So we'll have to see. Right now, I'm getting on Beautiful, while recording, I'm getting anywhere from 45 to 70 frames. It's varying quite a bit, which is strange. I am not entirely sure. When I stop recording, I get about 80 to 100 frames. So, you know, the recording software does dip quite a bit into it. But, yeah, there's a couple other little changes as well. I actually forgot to mention, and I'd like to go ahead and show that. So we've got a turret here. Let's give ourselves a little bit of wood. And, let's see, building plan. And, whoa, the lag there. We'll go ahead and stack this guy here. And we'll stick the turret on. And you can now differentiate between if a turret is on Peacekeeper or not. And so if we stick on Peacekeeper here and turn it on. Oops. Did we rotate? Turn on. It actually has a green laser beam. That's a little bit hard to see, so let's go ahead and bring the light down. And let's do like 2200. There we go. So you've got a green laser beam for Peacekeeper turret, so you know if it's safe to approach without a weapon to a shop, or if you're just going to get gunned down. So that's kind of cool. And of course, if you go ahead and switch off Peacekeeper, it's going to turn back to a red laser beam. And there it is. So definitely cool little aspect. More quality of life items just being done for us in the game, which is great. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that like button. And if there's anything significant in the dev blog, I will cover that in a second update video today. Don't forget to leave that like, and we'll see you guys next time.